Come on. There we go. I'm a little worried. I might actually run out of this yarn ball before we finish. I don't actually think it's going to happen, but on the same note, it's getting pretty wobbly. It's getting pretty wobbly, chat. Yarn chain. Oh no, I've got 2 more balls left. I just didn't want to have to break one out. I'm gonna have leftover yarn. What I did was I lowered my gauge. Like, it wanted me to use higher size needles than I did for this yarn, since it's a thinner worsted weight than I think the pattern meant. Those bigger needles kind of made the stitches look really floppy, and I didn't like it. So I lowered both down. Like, for instance, the difference being on the one I was making for myself, the Karen Simply Soft is thicker. It's a thicker worsted weight. And the stitches look better like they are now. But, my God, I love this thing. The braids just, I love them so much. I do too, Astronaut. Hi, Cat. Good time zone to you too. I think I already said hi, Cat, but I apologize. But yeah, if you look, even though they're both worsted, Karen is quite a bit thicker. If I pull them, they're almost the same size, but it affects the gauge a lot. So I did lower down the needles that I used for the other yarn, because I didn't want it to be floppy. I didn't want it to be floppy. So yeah. Yeah. Yep. I think for crocheting it would be less noticeable, but for knitting, at least for my tension while knitting, this thinner worsted weight wasn't going to work with those needles for me. It was a lot disappointing for me. Got possibly 17 rows left. And then I have to figure out how to bind off, cast off. Wait, which one is it binding off or is it casting off? It's binding off, right?
I have no idea.
Me either. I've technically only bound off one project. Technically. It's both? Okay. Like for socks, I did the Kitchener stitch, and while that counts, it's obviously not the same, right? I'm not going to be Kitchener stitching everything. For the beanie, I just worked until I ran out of stitches as the decreases expected me to. So I didn't really have to cast off there either. For the dishcloth, I did bind off, and I have no idea what I did at the time, because that was like in May. So this will be my second real bind off ever. And I have never done it for, like, do you do it differently for ribbed stitches? Because you want the stitches to stay stretched.